Alright, the title of this video is how to winterize your lawn care equipment. I'm going to jump right into it. Right there I have a turkey baster. Got it right from the dollar store. Basically all I'm getting ready to do is, what I like to do is I like to get out most of the gas without actually pouring all of it out, because you want the machine to actually be running to get that gas out of the carburetor. So I pour out most of the gas and then I go ahead and start it up. That's my method, because if you just try to pour the gas out, the gas will be out of the tank, but it'll still be inside the carburetor. And that's where all the problems happen over the winter time. You let that gas sit in that carburetor, and what happens is the gasoline starts separating over time. The oil starts separating from the water, and what'll happen is when it separate, it'll be too gooey and it'll clog the carburetor, and now you go to start it in the spring, and this gooey oil is not flowing properly, and it just basically clogs up the carburetor, and now you got to either get the carburetor replaced on it or get you a new machine. Another problem, what happens if you leave that gas in there over the winter, is when it separates from the gas, the water itself will start to rust out. The parts will start to rust out the carburetor. So it's a lose-lose situation by leaving that gas in there all winter. So this is very, very necessary. I've had these two steel machines for years, and I winterize them every year, and it's very important, because, and I tell you, when I don't winterize my equipment, literally every time I go back to use that machine, if, let's say for instance, if I would have forgot, I would have had to go basically just buy a whole nother machine. Like a machine like these, I would go ahead and repair these, because these are good equipment. But let's say if you got like a cheaper version, you might have to just flat out get rid of that machine, because it will cost more than what the machine is worth. So just save yourself a lot of headaches and get that gas out of there. And what I do is I get most of the gas out, leave a little bit in there just to get it started. Once you get it started, now you're able to burn through that gas that's inside the carburetor, and just run it out. Let the machine run until the gas runs out. The reason why I pour most of the gas out is because you just don't want to be sitting there running that machine for hours. Obviously, you want to hurry up and get it done. So I pour most of it out, and once I got the machine actually started, I'll go ahead and literally tip it over just to pour those extra drops out, just to get as much gas out of there as possible. Right here is where I'm using a turkey baster. Just because it get a little messy, and sometimes you just don't want to tilt the whole machine over like this, because as you can see right on the side of this machine, I don't know if you can see it, but that's where the air filter is. And if I was to try to just tilt this machine over and pour that out, a lot of gas will get into that air filter cabinet. It's that little square box right there on the side of the machine, right on the side of the engine. And I still went on ahead and just, as you can see, poured that little bit out because there was barely any none left. But you don't want to do that um, right away. That's why I use that turkey baster, so I won't flood out that air filter compartment. Um, so, but that's my way of winterizing these machines, and I just let them run out. I let the gas actually run out of the carburetor, because that's where you're gonna have problems. You don't want to just pour the gas out of the gas tank, because that's not enough. You want to get that. You want to let it run out of the carburetor. That way you can have these machines for years if you do this. I do it around December, because I'm sometimes I'm still cutting in November, so I usually don't let a month go by without winterizing them after the last cut. Let's just say that. So if you still cutting in December, you might not need to do it till January maybe. It might not even hurt it to leave it in there to February, but I wouldn't chance it to leave it in there that long, unless you going out there and running those machines all the time, and in the wintertime you're just not using these machines. So do yourself a favor and just get that old gas out of there, and try to salvage as much as you can, and to use for your snow blowers if you have one. If not, if not, if not, just discard the gas, because you're not gonna need it as far as later on down the line. That's only if it's mixed with oil. Like and subscribe. Peace.